Unit 7 test review. All right, so things to remember that I noticed when we did our quiz was if there's a number outside, you need to remember to bring it down. And then I didn't see very many people putting the wrong number inside the radical sign or the square root sign. So when I have these, I'm looking for pairs. Here's a pair. So my 3 is already outside. My 2 comes outside. 1, 2 gets crossed out. And what's left inside is my 3 and my 5 because they don't have pairs. So I end up with 6 times the square root of 15. All right, 88. Sometimes I just divide by 2s because it makes more sense to my brain. I could have done 4 because I know 4 is a perfect square. All right, here's my pair. 1 comes out, 1 gets crossed out. And so I still have a 2 that doesn't have a pair that's going to get inside. So I have 2 times the square root of 22. So if you have more than one number left inside, you just multiply them back together. Okay, 3. You cannot have a square root on the bottom. So we're going to multiply by basically 1. Square root of 6 over square root of 6. So what happens is we have 5 times the square root of 6 on top. 6 square root of 6 times the square root of 6 is just 6. For number 4, we're multiplying 2 times the square root of 7 times 2 times the square root of 7. So the numbers outside get multiplied together. The numbers inside get multiplied together. And hopefully you go, oh yeah, square root of 49 is 7. There's nothing left to go inside the radical. So the answer is 28. Okay, so my string is my hypotenuse. It makes a 45. So I'm going to do a 45, 45, 90. And I'm rounding. Okay, so my hypotenuse, remember this is my hypotenuse, is 50 because that's the string and I want to know how tall it is. So instead of doing, I didn't want to do that. I want to start over there. Okay, so instead of doing x square root 2, which I guess I'll write in here, but I'm not going to use it. If you have x here, then you end up with x square root of 2 over 2 and x square root of 2 over 2. Basically, I divided by the square root of 2 and then simplified it like I did number 3, so there was not a radical in the bottom. So if this is 50, then these two are both 50 times the square root of 2 over 2, which is going to be my x, my height. I guess I could put my height. It's going to be 50 times the square root of 2 over 2. I could put that in the calculator, but I know that 50 divided by 2 is 25 times the square root of 2. But at some point, I have to put that in my calculator. So I'm going to pull out my calculator. I'm going to put in 25 square root 2, and I'm going to get 35.36 meters. That's how high in the sky the kite is. All right. Alrighty. So I'm going to make some assumptions here because okay, well, it doesn't tell us if it's a 45, it doesn't tell us if it's special. So I'm just going to use Pythagorean theorem. This is C, this must be A. So I have C squared minus A squared equals B squared. So I'm going to have 9 squared minus 5 squared equals B squared. 81 minus 25 is going to be 56. And I need to square root it. And I'm leaving it in simplified radical form. So I have 2 and 28. Two and 14, 2 and 7. All right, one pair, one goes out. The 2 and the 7 stay inside. So I have 2 times the square root of 14. Okay, perimeter. Remember, it's a square. The perimeter is the sides. So I'm going to do 52 divided by 4, because that'll be each side. That's going to be 13, 13. What? It doesn't look like a square. It doesn't matter. It told me it was a square, so I'm going to use it like it's a square. All right. So, because it's a square, it's a 45, 45. But I'll just do, so I'm going to end up with 13 times the square root of 2, because I'm going to do my 45, 45, 90, because it's a square, I can do that. So I have 13, 13, 13 square root 2, which is equal to 13 square root 2, 18.38 feet is the diagonal. Okay, now I have a diagonal of a rectangle. See, this one looks like a square. Okay, I have a 15 and an 18. So I'm going to do 15 squared plus 18 squared equals C squared. So I'm going to do 15 squared plus 18 squared, which is 549. That is not a perfect square. Oh, but it says round it. So I'm just going to put square root of 549 in my calculator. 23.43 feet. So square, you can use 45, 45. This works. If it says rectangle, you gotta do this. Okay, back to work. Okay, Sam's square bedroom square has a diagonal of 9 square root 2. Since I know that that's my 45, 45, 90, because it's a square. So if this is 9 square root 2, that means the sides are 9. And then the perimeter is going to be 9 times 4, which is 36 feet. The area is going to be 9 times 9, and that's square feet. Okay, not multiple choice, so you have to work all these out. We're looking for acute, obtuse, or right triangles. So I think I could write it up here. A squared plus B squared equals C squared is a right. A squared plus B squared less than C squared is obtuse. A squared plus B squared greater than C squared is acute. And if A plus B needs to be bigger than C to be a triangle. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and make sure those add up to more than my long side. And they all do, but this one. Oh, wait, yes it does. Sorry. Got over ahead of myself. That's an isosceles. Okay, so they're all triangles. So I'm taking 2 squared plus 10 squared equals 11 squared. So I have 4 plus 100 and 121, and I need to take that equal sign out because they're not equal. They are, this one is less, so it's obtuse. I'm just going to assume this one's going to be more. 14 is 196. So I've stopped putting my little equal signs in there. This one is much greater, so this one is acute. This is isosceles, so 4 squared plus 5 squared and 5 squared. So I'm going to have 16 plus 25 is greater than 25. So that is acute. And hopefully the last one's going to be a right angle. We'll see, a right triangle. 8 squared plus 15 squared equals 17 squared. So I have 64 plus 225 equals, I don't know, 17 squared. 289. So 289 equals 289. So this one is a right triangle. Okie dokie. Oops. Oops. Oh, here we are. Okay. So here's my wooden gate. I'm looking for the diagonal. I'm looking for this. So this is so I'm going to assume that this is 4 and this is 3.5. So I'm going to do 3.5 squared plus 4 squared equals 28.25, and then I'm going to square root. Oops, no, 28 decimal. And then I get 5.32, which is B. All right. She's having bushes planted around here. So the first thing I need to know is my perimeter. So I'm going to add 30 squared. plus 12 squared. So I have 12 squared plus 30 squared equals 1044. And I kind of feel like that's a perfect square. Nope, it is not. Okay, but we're doing an approximate, so I'm going to say the square root of 1044 is about 32, because I'm adding 30 plus 12 plus 32. That's my perimeter. That's going to be 74. And then I'm dividing by 3 feet because I'm only planting bushes every 3 feet. And so that's going to be of course it is 24. So let's see what happens if I see how close it really was on my calculator, because now I don't know if it's A or B. No, that's not right. So I have 32 plus 12 plus 30. And then I'm dividing by 3. Well, I'm getting 24.67, so I'm going to go with B. Hope I don't have to redo this whole thing because I just did it wrong, but she needs the perimeter because they're going around the outside every 3 feet. You know, I probably could have done this. Oh, I still need my 32, but that means there's going to be 10 on this side, 4 on this side, and about 11 on this side, which makes 25. Okay. Okay. I like that verification. All right. X and Y. So here's our 30. So we have a 30, 60, 90, X, 2X, X square root 3. So 15, 30, 15 square root 3. So X is the hypotenuse. Y is the 60 side. This one is also 30, 60, 90, but the hypotenuse is the whole number. So that means the other two are going to be excuse me, X square root 3 over 3. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's going to be this one. No, oh my gosh. Just ignore this whole thing I just did, because I was trying to do my other one. I was trying to do 45, 45, 90. 2x, x, x square root 3. So we have 20, 10, 10 square root 3. M to O is 10 square root 3. All right. That's my 30. How far the hay travels is what we're looking for, right? That was supposed to be a question mark. This is what we're looking for. So, x, 2x, x square root 3. So, if this is 27, this is 54, which is how far the hay travels up the hypotenuse. All right, so for this one, we're looking for TG, so we're going to use the whole thing is A, so this is X, A and B, so I'm going to have 12 over X equals X over 14, so I'm going to multiply 12 times 14, 168. And I'm going to square root it. And I'm going to get 12.96. All right. AD is 11. DC is 5. Find BC. So I need to add them up. So A equals 16, B equals 5. So we have 16 over X equals X over 5. 16 times 5 is 80, I think. Yep. So we have X squared equals 80. And it doesn't say round, so we'll leave it in simplified radical form, which means X equals the square root of 80. That's going to be 4 times 20, which is 4 times 5. So since I have two 4s, one of my 4s comes outside, one of my 4s gets crossed out, and the 5 gets left inside. So this is what X equals. All right, last one. I'm trying to go fast. Missing sides. Okay, 45. Oh, but there's not, oh dear, there's not any number anywhere. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Lucky you, we're not going to do 18. I mean, I guess I can make up a number, but I have no idea what it was they were trying to get you to figure out. All I know is these are going to be the same. Oops. So let's assume that this is 20. We'll just make up a number. Do a little extra work. A little extra work never hurt anyone. So we need to do the backwards thing. So this is going to be X square root 2 over 2, X square root 2 over 2, X is 20. So this is going to be 20 divided by 2, which is 10 times the square root of 2, 10 times the square root of 2. So if your teacher says, I don't know what that problem is, you can say, well,